Time for the award-winning console game reviews by GameSHOUT. Console game reviews including Xbox, PlayStation, and others. GameSHOUT. GameSHOUT.
And welcome back to GameSHOUT Radio. This is SexyJosh here. That's right, it's time. It's Thursday night. It's time once again for Gamepad Gamers. Yes, the #1 console review show on the internet, and with good reason too. Because boy, have we got some games for you guys tonight. Jadder's going to be giving us his preview of Xbox PS2's Arena Football. After that, TrickNeal will be telling us all about Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. And then after that, I'll be giving you my preview of Dead or Alive 4 for the Xbox 360. And at the end of tonight, we've handed a special review of 50 Cent Bulletproof for the Xbox PS2 to Egoraptor. So we've got a great show.
It's Rapper Ego is going to be doing.
Rapper Ego. Okay, I'm sorry.
Rapper Ego will be doing the review tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Part of the entourage.
Quite the ego.
The gamer, whatever the rappers are. Anyways, so anyways, but without further ado, I'm going to hand this on over to Jadri so he can give us the lowdown on Arena Football.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Arena Football. It's different indoors. Basically, this game is coming to us from EA Sports. It's the adaptation of the NBC Arena Football League, where it's got an exclusive license. They've got all the characters, or all the actual figures from the series, all the actual teams. And this game looks to be pretty interesting. They've got the graphics pretty well tuned. They've got the arenas down looking nicely. The big thing is this game is fast-paced and very high-scoring. It's mainly a game of football where you're doing a lot of throwing instead of running like traditional football. And from the developers, they've said this game is typically run around 25% faster than any Madden football that they've had prior. Another new feature that they've added in is they let you play as the linebacker, or the wide receiver, I believe. So you can swap into gameplay and have them throw you the ball, where you're basically running and dodging on your own, trying to catch the ball. Now, I don't think this has been seen very much in any other games, but it should prove to be pretty interesting. They've added in a lot of new telemetry features as well, letting you get real-time information about your opponents in-game, like their scoring history, their passing tendencies, and their health, so you can capitalize on any of their weaknesses. Now, this is basically a team of 8 players. It's a very small game. It's an 80 by 50 yard field, I believe, where you're pretty much just a very fast-paced, streamlined game that hopefully it will be easily accessible to people who have played the other games. But they have decided that they were going to let people get really easily acquainted with it by putting in a bunch of tutorials, just so you can pick it up and be like, oh, so this becomes this. Now, there are a couple subtle rule changes that it is going to be a bit different from any traditional football, so you'll have to check that out. Now, all in all, this game looks pretty interesting. It's for PC, or not PC, PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and it's coming February 7th.
Sweet. I think it's strange that I guess EA has pretty much dominated the industry in all sports titles, and I guess it was only time before they started dominating the not so popular sports.
Well,
regardless,
between EA and 2K Sports, there's sure a battle back and forth, isn't there?
There is a big battle back and forth, and ever since they bought out the exclusive rights to the NFL, I'm surprised they're like, you know what? I don't think we have enough football going on. Let's bring in some crap football that nobody really likes watching anyways.
Oh, no. It's really exciting football. Arena football is very fast. It's very fast-paced, and it's always constantly going. And there are a lot of touchdowns and a lot of really... you see a lot of diving plays, and it can be really... And the crowd, they're more rowdy than at regular football games. I mean, really rowdy. These people paint their faces, cut their hair, mohawks. It's just like they freak out. We got up in Michigan when I get a chance to get home. We've got the Raptors, Grand Rapids Raptors, and the arena football is a big thing up there. It's a blast. It's a fun game.
Yeah, we have that back in Erie too. The Erie Freeze. I guess the game that I went to was just crap. So. I went to one arena football
Sorry to
game,
hear that.
and I've regretted it ever since. Sitting around next to two drunken, beer swollen fat guys, and I'm just like, why am I here? Anyways. Yes, nothing kills the mood like two drunk fat guys. Anyways, I'm going to hand this on over now to TrickNeal so he can give us his review of Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones.
I thought my homeland would receive me with open arms, but my only welcome was fire and arrows. Nothing in my kingdom is the way it was. Not even me. No more suffering. I can stop this! Stay back! Come with me as we take a journey through the sands of time to the year 1989, when the PC was graced with Prince of Persia, a new game that combined platform jumping with sword fighting. And the game at the time was amazing. The graphics, while nothing spectacular, were well designed, and the characters moved smoothly, and all in all, it was just a fun game. And I know when we look back now, the game doesn't look like much, but this is where it all started. Now, let's fast forward to 2003, when Ubisoft brought this classic to the console in the form of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Now, Sands of Time opened up a three-part story on the Prince, which brought new innovative platform skills and threw a little swordplay into the mix. Now, fans were blown away by how the Prince could move and jump and dodge and swing and hang, and with the implementation of the Sands of Time magic effect, you could also control time to some extent. Well, nobody was really impressed with the fighting. That's fine. Let's go with attempt number 2, Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within. In the second installment of the trilogy, Ubisoft tried to liven up the fighting and also added some new acrobatic moves to the platform and kept the Sands of Time magic aspect. But people complained about how dark the series had turned, and I can't for the life of me figure out why people all of a sudden started hating Godsmack. I mean, you want a game with better fighting, you're going to get it, but you're also going to get some hard fighting music from a band that was kind of popular back then. But still, not everybody was completely won over. Okay, fine. Let's move on to attempt number 3, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. Ubisoft is back to finish things up, and they're trying their darndest to do it right. And they do great. Once again, we have new and improved platforming moves, new and improved fighting system, and also the good old Sands of Time magic is back. And the music much more resembles the types of tunes you might hear on the streets of ancient Babylon, so you guys can quit complaining about that one. Oh yeah, Babylon. I completely forgot to tell you about the story. Okay, here's the Cliff Notes version of the series as it goes so far. In Sands of Time, the prince accidentally unleashes the Sand of Time, and before he learns to control them, all hell breaks loose, and he has to try and set things right. Then, in Warrior Within, he has to travel back in time to the creation of the Sands of Time in order to save his own life. And now, in Warrior Within, he's just heading home for some well-deserved R&R. Or so he had hoped. Unfortunately, as soon as he gets close to Babylon, he realizes the town's been taken over, his girlfriend's been kidnapped, and now he's got a lot of fighting to do before he can rest. Okay, now let's get down to the gameplay. A lot of the good old Prince of Persia moves and attacks are back, but there's some new fun additions. The most important is the speed kill system. This is where the game seamlessly melds the platforming with the fighting. Instead of dividing your time between the two, you're going to use your skill at jumping and hanging and swinging and etc, etc, etc to gain an advantage over your opponent. And then you can execute a speed kill, which saves you the trouble of beating them mercilessly, and it also keeps them from summoning support. So you got much quicker kills coming up and less boring fighting going on. Now another fun add-on, chariot races. You might not feel like Ben-Hur driving around the Colosseum, but they do break up the lack of monotony in the regular gameplay, and they add a little fun mid-game that kind of gives you a little bit more detail to get a hold of on this game. It's just another little aspect of the game you can try and master. Now finally, and most importantly, is the implementation of a new character, the Dark Prince. And this guy is both enemy and ally at the same time because, well, he's you. See, he's the dark side of the prince, and he's just your evil alter ego. And he comes in, he helps you out because he's got a handy chainsword that he can use to make his speed kills like that much more aggressive, and he can use the chainsword to grapple and swing further and make longer jumps, and it just plain looks cool. I mean, overall, the graphics in the series just keep getting better and better. The toned-down soundtrack really plays well with the updated gameplay. All in all, the game is exactly what I was expecting as the finale in the series, and I can't wait for someone to take the franchise to a new level. The good aspects of this game have to be the speed kills and the Dark Prince, which just really, they keep pushing the envelope for the game. But the bad part is the Dark Prince himself, because while he's a great new addition to the game, he's not as powerful as he should be, and he only serves as kind of as a distraction from the regular play. So, all in all, I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10.
Well, that's still not a bad score. I mean, hell, how can you go wrong with
No, the game is amazing. I was really impressed with it. It was everything I was hoping for. It just wasn't perfection, you know.
Hey, you can't hit a perfect 10 all the time. Although we would, every game developer hopes to, but not everybody can reach that undeterminable rank. Well, regardless, we're going to move on here into another fighting game. It's coming out from Team Ninja and Tecmo. Dead or Alive 4 for the Xbox 360. Alright, in my opinion, there have been only about 3 fighting series that really need any kind of mention. Alright, you have the Soul Calibur series, which hands down is one of the best fighting series in my opinion. You also have the Tekken series, which is also yet another fighting series that just keeps getting better with every iteration. And then you have Dead or Alive. Well, with Dead or Alive 4, we were entreated to a very Xbox-worthy only game that should be thrown for the Xbox. It was awesome. All right, now when I say fighting game, though, I mean the newer generations. I mean, there was a Killer Instinct, thank you, Trick. There was Killer Instinct and Killer Instinct 2, but those are old days. I mean, those are awesome, but we're talking about the new ones, the 3D, the awesome, and the ones that keep going. Mortal Kombat has kind of fallen off the radar, but that goes into a different series there. I mean, you had Shaolin monks and that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Yes, there's Street Fighter, and yes, there's Smash Brothers, but I'm talking about the hardcore fighting games, the Twitch fighting, as you could call it, is for that most part. And Twitch fighting has broken new ground with DOA 4. See, DOA 4 is going to be, or DOA 4 is going to be the next iteration of the Dead or Alive series. I'm sorry, DOA 3 was on the original Xbox and also was a release title. It's only fitting that Dead or Alive 4 comes out for the Xbox 360, not as a launch title, but it's going to be coming out in time to be similar, at least close to the launch. Now, a while ago we had Dead or Alive Ultimate, which brought on, basically revamped the original Dead or Alive and or Dead or Alive 2, and then gave us online multiplayer. And boy, can you look forward to some of the coolest same things from that. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that graphically this game is much, much better. It's beautiful, it's amazing, and it brings a tear to my eye every time I see it. Every character is highly detailed. Every character also has alternate costumes that they can wear. The animations are fluid, flowing, and they look amazing from what I've seen so far. Some of the other cool things you're going to have along with this game are, of course, you're going to be able to have 1 to 2 players offline. All right. Then you're also going to have a 16:9 widescreen perspective plus a high definition TV of 720. P. I don't understand fully what that means, but it's high, it's good. Regardless, one of the cool features that they're adding into this that I think every Xbox game should have had is custom soundtracks. This is, in my opinion, this is important for every game to have that. Why? It's cool that you can play a game with the soundtrack that a developer has given you, but every now and then I want to listen to a little something I want to listen to that gets me revved and pumped into the action. And not every game actually does that with their soundtracks. Now, for those of you who were worried that this wouldn't be Xbox Live, capable, it will be. It's going to have online multiplayer that basically will matchmake you up with other players within your rank as far as the Xbox matchmaking goes. So, even if you kind of suck at the game, at least you'll be put with somebody else who will, equally as suck. Now, as far as characters go, I said they look a lot more beautiful and they look a lot better, and you're going to be able to pick out who's who. There's going to be like 23 characters in this game from from the ninjas Ayane, Kasumi, Hayabusa.
Can I ask a question though? And I'm looking at the clip here, and there's Japanese schoolgirls in short dresses with pink panties fighting each other. What's all that about?
Well, those are your alternate costumes. Like I said, all the characters have alternate costumes. I don't think Kasumi was one of the ninjas, but I think actually she was one of the one who dressed up in a little schoolgirl outfit. Giggity giggity. But you're gonna have all those characters from the last games on, like the wrestler Helena and her father. But you're also gonna have the new characters along, like La Mariposa, and then Elliot, Kokoro, and of course, the reason why I really wanted to do this preview, you have Nicole. Who's Nicole? Oh, well, she's only one of the Spartans from Halo 2. Alright, well, she wasn't in Halo 2 or any of the series, but yes, folks, there's going to be a Spartan from the Halo universe in this game. You can play as her. I mean, if you wanted to see what Halo would look like on an Xbox 360 with updated graphics, this is about as close as you're going to get for right now. Halo 3, obviously, hopefully, will look 10 times better, but this is what a Spartan looks like on the Xbox 360. Along with map-wise, there's going to be a Halo 2 themed map. It's going to be looking like one of the first levels of Halo 2, where the Covenant are busting out of their ships onto your space station. This is what this map is, and there's all sorts of things all over the map that are going to be both Halo-oriented and will have reactions to whatever you do with the other player. For instance, with all maps, say you kick one of the characters into a wall or into an object, well, it's going to explode, or it's going to react in a way that is going to either give you the upper hand or the lower hand, or however the reaction is. There's going to be these little traps all over the map that just taking the time to kick people around and figure out what the different areas are. It's going to be a blast to figure that all out and to use to your advantage. So, all in all, I'm looking very much forward to this game. Not only because, yeah, obviously there's a Halo 2 or a Halo Spartan in it that's cool. But overall, the game, the franchise, and the series has impressed me over and over again, and I've loved playing it each and every time. So I'm really looking forward to this game, and I think you all should definitely check it out when it hits the stores on the 22nd of December. So that's basically my preview of DOA 4. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to have a review of 50 Cent Bulletproof with Rapper Ego coming up right after this.
GameSHOUT Radio and Newegg.com want to bring you some holiday gifts this holiday season. Things like flash drives, memory, video cards. Hey, look, if you want in, all you've got to do is enter the Newegg.com GameSHOUT Radio Box Mod Contest. Your objective is going to be to design a computer case mod showing off your very favorite game. Now, you can either draw your design or actually build it. Either way, it's going to be judged on appearance, not on the inside mechanics. The rules are going to be posted at GameSHOUT.com, but you must be a U.S. resident and at least 18 years of age to enter. You're going to send in your pick or drawing along with your phone number to contest at GameSHOUT.com. Now, the deadline is January 3rd, 2006 at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and winners are going to be announced on January 5th, live on GameSHOUT Radio between 9:30 and 10 p.m. You got to be available. We're going to need to talk to you on the air. And where's the best prizes? Only on GameSHOUT Radio.
And welcome back to Gamepad Gamers right here on GameSHOUT Radio. I'm your host, SexyJosh. And so far tonight, we've given you our preview of Arena Football, TrickNeal's review of Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones, and my preview of Dead or Alive 4. So I guess there's nowhere else to go now but to 50 Cent Bulletproof. Rapper Ego's review. Check it out.
What's mine's is mine's. What's yours is mine's. I run these streets. This whole city is mine. I never understand how people forget that.
When I was told we were going to review 50 Cent Bulletproof, I was like, what? They made a game out of 50 Cent? So I figured I'd give it a shot. Might be, you know, at least entertaining. 50 Cent seems like a cool guy. So I boot up the game and instantly I'm thrown in this totally sweet intro movie that's completely in my face like, whoa, hey, it's 50 Cent and he's got guns and babes and rap. So I'm all pumped up. I'm like, alright, let's get some 50 Cent action going on. I'm ready for guns and babes and rap. So I enter my name, Thug for Life. I had to cut the E off of life because it was too many letters. And I'm thrown into Fitty's world, his vastly exaggerated ego trip of a world. In 50 Cent Bulletproof, you play as 50 Cent. If you don't know, he's a rapper. You're joined up in a noirish cutscene by the G Unit, his posse basically. I don't remember their names though, but they're definitely not their names their mother gave them. The plot is that Fitty, wearing a bulletproof vest as well as all kinds of crazy gun belts and holsters and bling, is paged by his bro K-Dog. And I don't remember if it was D-A-W-G or D-O-G. And he's in some serious poo-poo, man. So you bust out on the scene and start shooting these Counter-Strike looking guys who are all exactly the same. At first I thought the game was cool, but then I tried to shoot a guy, and it didn't work very well. In fact, it took me about 10 pulls of the trigger to kill one of these guys, so I figured, hey, maybe they just take a lot of hits. I shoot another guy, and he goes down on one hit. Okay.
So, as I'm running around trying to shoot guys, emphasis on trying, I notice you can steal from the corpses. Cool. After you kill a guy, you can kneel down and pick his pockets for about 3 seconds, which is way too much time, and take his wallet or credit card if you're lucky. Lucky meaning that when that stealing takes up a lot of time. A lot of time you could be spending on moving around trying not to get hit by bullets. So you die a lot. Unfortunately, stealing money from corpses is how you get money to buy extras, which I will get into in a minute. Yeah, the gunfight is quite a catastrophe. It's unfortunate that the entire game is based on it. The permanent reticle on the screen is in no way accurate, and sometimes when trying to get a super crazy cutscene instant death headshot, I have to home in on the guy's shoulder for some reason. The enemies are smart and dumb at the same time. When they run around, they're like in a gunfight or something, but at the same time, well, they run around like they're in a gunfight or something. Pretty random. Sometimes they'll rush you, and then I discovered that you can use these crazy counterkill things that instantly kill enemies in a wicked cool cutscene if you're super close up. Of course, the actual prompt for the counterkills barely ever comes up at a comprehensible time, because the game has this sensitivity problem with items. Like, say for example, you have to flip a switch. Well, you gotta be facing that switch hardcore in the right way, or else nothing will happen. The enemies will rush you a lot, and they run fast. Faster than your camera moves. So if an enemy runs up to you and behind you, well, you're getting shot point blank and you can't do crap about it until your camera can catch up to them. Game over, man. Game over. You're better off just letting your teammates do all the work because they're invincible. And they don't suck like 50 does. But if you don't care about actually playing the game, it's totally sweet. All the menus take place on 50 Cent's pager. And you can call up your dogs and be like, yo, this is 50. Though he doesn't actually say that. And you can get their answer machines, which is kind of dumb. Well, if you're not in the menu, you're watching a cutscene or playing the game, which is actually kind of pretty. The backgrounds could use some work because most of them are all bland. Especially this forest level. I got so lost, man. Everything looked the same. But the character models are really nice. And Fiddy always looks pissed, which is cool. The game is motion captured, which is also really cool because the characters move super realistically, and it helps out in the cutscenes, which are totally sweet. The cutscenes are well directed and the story is semi-engrossing. I was definitely interested in finding out who shot Fiddy. The cutscenes are totally believable as well because of the sweet voice acting. I don't know if these guys are good at acting or just being good at who they are, because everything they say is totally believable. 50 Cent sounds super dramatic narrating the story and all. There's some cool dialogue as well, but it's unfortunate that about 90% of the dialogue I can't even say on the radio. Yeah, this is definitely a game you don't want to play when your grandma's around. Eminem and Dr. Dre lend their vocal talents to the game as well, and at one point you get to fight alongside of Eminem, which got me totally pumped to play the game again when my faith in it was wearing. The enemies, as well as your allies, spit out cool, offensive dialogue when they're in gunfights, such as, beep! Get me the bleep out of here! Or, beep, Fiddy, we've been bleeping shot! Get your bleeping bleep over here and help me! And I'm all, hell no, you guys are invincible and I'm not! It really adds to the whole effect of getting owned by a bunch of random guys with guns. The game also features non-stop 50 Cent instrumentals playing in the background, which totally work sometimes, but other times, the music sounds a little too happy when you're busting a cap. But I'm sure hardcore 50 Cent fans don't really care. The best thing about the game, though, is the extras. If you're a huge 50 Cent fan, this game should be in your 50 Cent collection. With the money you steal from the enemies, you can go to 50's Hood and buy some exclusive tracks by 50 Cent out of the back of a car for about $15,000. I'm not joking. There is no multiplayer, thank God. The good and the bad of 50 Cent is pretty darn obvious when it gets down to it. The good, the plethora of 50 Cent related extras, the cutscenes, everything except the gameplay. The bad, the gameplay. Overall score, 5.5 out of 10. Back to you, Josh.
Thank you, Ego. Hey guys, stay tuned. We got Roundtable coming up next. Anime Update is the stuff. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
This is GameSHOUT Radio, the #1 talk game station in the world. Visit GameSHOUT.com for more info. GameSHOUT. GameSHOUT.